What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And after everything that's been going on, getting my MEP scheduled, finishing the ASVAB, and just getting everything done as far as it goes to the Air Force, I've had so much going on in my personal life that I just can't wait to get in here and get an amazing back day done. And honestly, I don't really care too much for the yapping today, bro. I'm just wanting to work out at this point. I'm exhausted, and on the days where you're exhausted mentally, it's a very good day to go to the gym. So let's go ahead and get into today's back day, y'all. I'll see y'all on the inside. Peace.
Alright, y'all, so moving straight into the first workout. And now, there's something I've been having a huge issue with is not knowing whether I want to go ahead and downsize. Because in joining the United States Air Force, the biggest thing isn't actually your size, it's actually your endurance. And for me, that's been presenting kind of an issue because personally, it's not that I'm bad at cardio or anything, because I can run a mile and a half straight at like a 9 or a 10 without stopping. So not even necessarily the issue of not being able to have the endurance or anything like that. I just honestly, personally fucking hate cardio. So for me, the biggest issue has been trying to pull back on the strength training and lean more towards on the cardio. And honestly, that's where I've been having that crossroads, because I prefer by a large margin to go ahead and train strength training. And today, instead of picking and choosing what we're going to do, bro, let's just revert to doing straight strength training, bro. So let's go ahead and get into the first workout. We're working out back today. And today I want my back to be absolutely fucking peeled. Tomorrow when I wake up, I want that shit to feel raw as hell. And also, tomorrow I'm probably going to record a video going over my experience in MEPS. But until that point, let's go ahead and get into today's workout. We're going to be doing 4 to 10 or 5 by 10 on lat pulls. And yeah, it's going to be a fun day, bro. Let's go ahead and get into it. I might full stack today, or maybe 2 away from full stack. So let's see how it goes. And then for those of you that actually like strength training as well, something I recommend is instead of gripping it like this, use a climber's grip. It makes it harder, but it actually trains your grip a lot more than it does regularly. So instead of grabbing like that, go ahead and pull your arm over and do it like this. So that way you're engaging your full, your thumbs actually help out with your grip. But if you don't use your thumbs, it works out more. So make it work out a little bit harder to make it more rewarding for you in the long run. Alright, so I'm going to 160. This machine only goes up to 260. And normally I do 120, 160, 200, and then 220 at the end. So let's see how we feel today. But it's going to be an amazing day to go ahead and get these workouts in. So let's keep it going, y'all. Whew. All right, let's go up to 180. The pre is going through the system, and bro, I'm feeling strong as fuck right now. So let's see how we can go. Whew. And just to kind of give a preview on how tomorrow's video is going to go, when I went to MEPS, honestly speaking, it was highly uncomfortable, bro. Throughout the whole process, you're just sitting there with a whole bunch of people, and the most uncomfortable part was when I was sitting in just straight boxers with 20 other dudes. Well, realistically, it was 8, 9 dudes at a time, you know? But still, it was just very uncomfortable. And then they have you do blood work, they have you piss in a cup, and when you're pissing, they're looking at you while pissing, so it's very uncomfortable. But those are just I don't know, bro. To me, that's going to be one of the weirdest things, because they even said in basic training, they're basically going to have it to where a recruiter or a drill instructor, drill sergeant, they're going to be looking at you pissing while you're looking at your shit and everything. So I'm like, fuck, it's going to be mad uncomfortable. But it's a trade-off, bro. For you to be able to serve and have a good time, you got to make some adjustments. You know, you're not going to be the same person you were before. So it's like a give and take type thing. And then not only that, But something that was very uncomfortable for me was actually getting a shot. Like they took some blood from me to get my blood samples, right? But the reason that was so uncomfortable is because the lady who did my blood sample, she hit my vein, but she missed. So when she hit it, it was pumping blood, but then it stopped for some reason. So she had to readjust it while it was inside of my arm. And that sensation, it was fucking terrible, yo. I did not enjoy that whatsoever. But something I've been struggling with on my own side has actually been my weight. So when I got out of high school, I was a smooth 120, give or take like 5 pounds, you know? And then after 2 years of working out outside of college, I was able to bulk up to 140. Now I'm at the weight I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a smooth 160. And honestly, I'm not fucking with it, bro. I'm trying to cut back down to like 140, but even getting to 150 has presented a challenge. For me, the biggest issue is I enjoy eating way too much. Like right now, I'm constricting myself to a calorie deficit of 2,000. When to maintain a 160, you got to be at like 2,500. So I'm at a deficit of 500, but I love to eat, bro. And then even if you go out to eat pasta or anything like that, you're going to be hitting some pastas, like let's say at Cheesecake Factory or something simple, right? It's going to be a smooth 2,000 calories. So it's like you got to be able to give that pleasure up in order for you to be seeing a cut in your weight. And luckily, I'm not fat or anything like that. But still, bro, wanting to get to 150, it's been a struggle. So right now, I don't know, bro. Just trying to lose down in weight has been an actual struggle for me. But enough yapping, bro. Let's get into this third set. All right. Let's go ahead and move up to, I think 220 should be smooth. Like the best point for me right now. And that's 2 away from full sack. So that's good enough for me. All right, so I'm going to take a little break off camera, take the pump cover off, and let's keep it pushing. All right, y'all, let's move into the fourth set. I actually dropped down a little bit to 200, but I still feel like that's enough to go ahead and work my lats out. My lats are feeling pretty raw, and after this, instead of moving to like a T-bar row, I'm going to be doing behind the back. So I can go ahead and work out that upper back, because I feel like that's what makes it look more defined whenever I do my lat pose, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get this work done. Yeah, that's all I can say, bro. Let's go ahead and get this shit started. Ooh. Ooh, all right. With this one, I don't really do it too much. But let's go ahead and do it with way lighter weight. I'm only gonna be doing it with 55, just to feel the real stretch behind the back. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna be doing 3 sets of 10, and then from there, let's see what else we're feeling. Today we want to do some heavier movements like bent over rows with the actual deadlift machine, Smith machine. That way we can feel really good stretch in our back. Because today the whole goal is just to have a peeled back. I already have a demon back whenever I pose, but I want to get the top more pronounced because with the top being fuller and thicker, it just looks a lot nicer whenever you're doing a pose now. Even though, realistically speaking, from the Air Force, that has no benefit. Having a defined back like that is almost no meaning. You know what I mean? But fuck it. Let's keep it going. Honestly, that feels right. And it's just light as fuck, but let's go to 85. Oof. And this is going to be the second video I have recording today. The first video was me talking about my experience throughout signing up for the Air Force and everything from getting in touch with the recruiter to getting scheduled for the ASVAB to now going to MEPS. And like, one thing about MEPS though, before you're preparing and going, just be prepared to spend the whole day there, all the way from 8 to 4. And in tomorrow's video, I'm gonna go over a few things that I didn't know in any video I had coming out because I drove the MEPS. I didn't go to the hotel and stay over because I personally hate being in places like that. And once I'm inside the Air Force, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But right now I didn't have to, so I found a way around it. And if you're driving there, one big thing that I'd say, bro, make sure you have your registration for your car, because I lost mine, bro, just to be upfront with you. So I had to go on the Georgia Department of Driver Services, figure out how to get like a printable one, because they would not let me on base without it. And I'm glad I got there like 40 minutes early because I had to go back home, print out my registration, and then come right back. And it was just a headache, bro. And if I didn't live so close to I literally lived 5 minutes away from MEPS. So it was fucking perfect. If I wasn't 5 minutes away, I would have been screwed 110%. And nobody told me I had to have my registration. They just said they were going to inspect my car. But I didn't expect them to ask for registration. I expected insurance, but not registration. For some reason, that skipped my head. All right, Joe. We're moving to our second set. Alright, yo. We're down to 120. And you know, something I've been kind of thinking about instead of doing these like little videos is go ahead and just live streaming the entire workout from start to finish and then just uploading it like that. But I feel like to a degree that just might be a little bit too long. Might be some parts that you guys don't really care to see. So I've been kind of trying to curate it in a way where it's a little bit interesting, you know? Especially if we're going to keep growing the channel and keep growing the audience, we got to make it very interesting. That's why the video earlier today, it wasn't like my usual videos. It wasn't working out anything. It was just me talking about experiences that I've been through. And if I could tell y'all how many stories I had, some of them I probably wouldn't want to put up because a lot of them would get me in trouble if I'm being 100% honest. Like one story, and at MEPS, I actually did have something bad happen. I actually wasn't able to swear in the day of MEPS because I have to get a waiver for my eyesight. Like my right eye could be dilated very well, so with glasses and everything, but my left eye, it's almost impossible to dilate. And the reason why is because in the process, like one day I was at home just relaxing, chilling, and I was in the mood for a beer. So I cracked open the beer and I popped that bitch open. And I'm telling you, that junk went straight up into my eye and it hit it extremely hard to the point where my eye was red for like a week straight and I couldn't open my left eye without it hurting. And even to the point where I thought my eye was like damaged and like I was going to go to the hospital, but it just cleared up on its own. But that made it to where my left eye can't be focused. You know what I mean? So I have to get a waiver for my eyesight, and I'm currently waiting on that to come through so I can go ahead and sign in and swear into the United States Air Force. So that's why I haven't uploaded the MEPS video. I'm debating whether or not to wait to be able to get sworn in, and I'm going to get news on that tomorrow. Today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so the whole United States government is actually shut down today. So nobody's working to give me a response, you know? So I'm waiting to see if I can get that waiver done by tomorrow so I can go swear in sometime next week. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the rest of these workouts, bro. Let's keep it going. Oosh, that's heavier. And tomorrow I'll probably be making tomorrow's workout video a leg day because I'm not gonna hold y'all, bro. I have not hit leg day in like a straight like month or so. This has been a while. A little too long, if I'm being honest. But what can you do? All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm gonna go drop myself off at the locker room, and I'll bring it right back in. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move into the Bento Rose. And honestly, I ain't feeling it today. But if we all give up on whenever we're not feeling like doing something hard, where will you become in life? You have to find ways to push past your limits, even on the days you don't feel like it. Don't let things like your motivation, your emotions, or anything so simple like that hold you back from your dreams. Like right now, I'm not necessarily motivated to work out, but the discipline is the only thing holding me up, even when I don't want to be here. Like my eyesight is fogged, I feel sleepy, and I have nothing but reasons to head out of the gym. But we're gonna go ahead and work out and kill the bitch inside of us, so we can go ahead and get 1% better. Even if it's 0.5 over a span of a year, that's like whatever it is. It's a lot. Fuck it. Let's keep it going, yeah. Oh shit. Woo. Alright. That's fucking solid, man. Alright, so my back's feeling it, but one set won't do it. Let's go ahead and push it to 3-4 sets. And then from there, we're gonna call it. And something I would actually like some advice from you guys. Whenever you're not feeling like working out or you're not feeling like showing up, where does your head go to? Do you switch on to the David Goggins mentality, which is like, fuck your feelings, show up and show out, who's gonna carry the logs and that kind of shit? Or do you kind of just take the Socrates, I would say the Stoic, this Socrates Stoic side of things, where it's like you dive into the deep emotions, you dive into why you're feeling so down. Is it really the gym that's holding you back? Is it really the pressure of working out, or is it the pressure of simply living a human life? And because Stoic philosophy is to embrace the pain, because there is no such thing as living life without pain. Life is pain. Life is struggle. So to enjoy one's life, one must embrace the struggle. One must embrace the pain and accept it as a part of life and not seek out pleasure. Even though one may find it in small amounts, the bulk of your life is actually built up on your failures. Your ability to keep going, your ability to fail over and over again and still be able to show up and do your best. Because at the end of the day, if we give in to the pain, we die. But if we accept the pain, embrace the pain, the only way is through. So accepting the pain as a part of your reality makes life a little bit easier, especially because, like I said earlier, pain is just another aspect of life. So if you can't accept pain, you won't be able to accept life. Like they say, bad things happen to good people. But in my mentality, it's not bad things happen to good or bad people. Bad things just happen. And you have to go with it as it comes. You can't control what life dishes out to you. Even if you're going through a span of, like, let's say 4 or 5 years where you feel like life is amazing, eventually it's going to end. Eventually your life is going to get cut short, whether it be from something as simple as dying or something more complicated like a divorce, a kid abandoning you, losing a loved one cheating on you. It could be a endless amount of things, not necessarily just something as simple as death. That's why in shows like Spartacus and things like that, they talk about how the dead ones are the lucky ones because they have been removed from this life of suffering. And even nowadays, with all of our luxuries, technology, all this good stuff from the new age, the dawn of technology, life is still just nothing but suffering. So it's just figuring out ways to embrace the suffering and see your way through it. Because without that, without being able to embrace it, life just becomes more and more painful. You don't have to get numb to it. You just have to accept it as a part of reality, in my aspect. Because I have tried to be the whole push past the rough, hard side of things, but instead of pushing past it, accept the pain. accept that it's part of life, and see yourself become a better person. Once you see it as a reality, you will try to avoid pain, but you'll openly embrace it like a lost loved one. But enough of my philosophy. Let's go ahead and get into the workout, y'all. We do one more set on bent over rolls, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and add a 25, and we're gonna call it after a third set of 10. Let's keep it going, y'all. Kind of seeing stars on that one, but you gotta embrace it, brother. It doesn't get better, you just get stronger. And that's not about the gym, it's about life. If life goes on and it keeps dishing out pain and pain and pain, you start realizing the easier it is to accept, the more you can take. It's kind of interesting when you think about your life. It's built on the back of your failures. Because let's take the gym for example. Your body gets bigger, stronger, and tougher through the process of achieving failure. So through achieving failure, you become something more successful. And that philosophy is just about anything. They say that you learn more from failure than you ever will from success. So embrace the failure, embrace the pain. That's the point I want to hammer home today. Nothing is better. Well, I won't say better because embracing pain is still painful. But nothing will help you out more than realizing that there is more success in failure than there will ever be in success in itself. Because in truth, what do you learn from success? But add to your ego. You know, when I succeed in something, my ego just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I feel like I could do more and more and more. But when I fail, it makes me really pay attention to my own limitations. Whether it be doing bad on a test, which proves that you aren't as smart as you thought you were, or failing on something you thought you could do. Like when I fail on 3 plates, even though I've done 3 plates in the past, it's humbling. It makes me realize that I have limitations. Maybe I haven't been dieting correctly. Maybe I haven't been working out correctly. And being able to embrace that, like I'm telling you, bro, it does nothing but wonders. It makes you appreciate failure because I can tell you, me myself, I have not learned a single thing from success because being successful just gives you vanity. It makes you feel like unstoppable. Like there's been times in my life where I put myself in issues because I wouldn't get in trouble for doing something bad because I wouldn't get caught. So I would be successful in doing something bad, right? And it wouldn't teach me anything. But the minute I became a failure in something, it made me realize, holy shit. Like there's a saying, you don't care what you did, you just care that you got caught, and that's true. Because in getting away with it, you learn nothing from it. But in getting caught, you learn that your actions have consequences, even though it's something elementary to it. To be able to tell, like you can tell that to a kid. If you do something bad, something bad will come of it. But when you grow up, those lines can become more and more obscure throughout life. You won't see what you're doing that's necessarily bad, but if you get caught and it gets pointed out and reflected in your face as a failure, you start realizing and learning that what you were doing actually had more weight to it than you thought it did. You might see, like a lot of salespeople, they see stealing from a customer, which is like they justify stealing from a customer by like saying, no, I didn't steal them. I just convinced them to buy, and I'm just that good that they spent that much money. But then, if there's ever a customer that shows it in the face, like, hey, you manipulated and lied to me about the situation, I overspent because of you, it makes you actually realize that what you did was wrong. But only if you're grown to a point where you can reflect on that instead of accepting it as like, oh, fuck them, they were just criticizing me. If you're able to see the criticism and see a way where it can help you grow, you might become more successful than you will with treachery. I mean, take the Wolf of Wall Street, for example. He was very good at what he did, but for how long? At the end of the day, the roosters come home. What is it? The chickens come home to roost. Or however that saying goes. the end of the day, anything bad will be caught. So figure out ways to embrace the pain and grow. Or if you can't grow, you'll have pain from that in and of itself. But it'll be a different type of pain. It won't be the pain of growth, it'll be the pain of regret. Alright, that's all the wisdom I have for right now. Let's go ahead and get into this last set. Third and final set. Oh. And honestly speaking, to a degree, when I get into these yap sessions, they help me out a ton because they help me kind of process my own emotions on camera with you guys. But also they give me like a good five minutes or so to rest. And when you're working out, stuff like that is invaluable. I used to do it with workout partners, and honestly, I've messed up in the past too. I've crossed lines that shouldn't have been crossed in the past, and it's made me appreciate the relationships I have nowadays, because after losing one of my dearest friends from a mistake that I 100% caused, it made me reflect, because up until that point, I felt like nothing I did had consequences. But losing one of my best friends in life made me realize that my actions have consequences. And once again, it's simple to say, but in practice, it's very difficult. And to you, if you're out there, just know, man, you're missed. And I shall honor the memory of our friendship by becoming a better man. Day by day, little by little, I will be getting better. All right, John, let's go ahead and get into this next set. I only got 5, that's it. All right, Joe, let's go over to something else. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. Moving on to the next form of pain. Keep going. All right, y'all. It's probably gonna be our last workout of the day. I'm feeling pretty good, pretty fried, you know, the usual. But let's take a Sam Sulek workout. All right. The pull on the back is spectacular with this. These are uneven. It's fine. Oh, yeah. It's like the most intense back pullover. Oh. Gosh. Alright, y'all. Do 3 to 4 sets of those. I'm thinking 4, just because I fucked so hard with how this feels. But then after that, we're just gonna call it. Feeling good. The little speech about embracing the pain really kind of revitalized me, because today I'm honestly not feeling like a motivational speech, but the whole embracing the pain thing, to me, I don't know about you guys, but to me that was more motivational, because in the truest aspect, it's more real. You know, you don't feel motivated every day, especially with life the way it is. But if you're able to accept it for what it is and for what, yeah, just accepting it for what it is, it makes it a lot easier instead of trying to sugarcoat it as something it's not. You know, it comes off very disingenuous when you try to give that kind of advice. You know, everything's rainbows and sunshines when it truly isn't. Life is but suffering, futility. Just like Madara said from Naruto, bro. Life is nothing but futility and suffering. And if you know pain, you know it to be true. Because all of us who have suffered something deep, we realize that over time, it doesn't get better, you just get stronger, because there will always be something worse coming. Always. Just like, let's say you lose a loved one, like your wife, girlfriend, anything cheats on you, right? You think that pain is strong until you move on and you love somebody else, and instead of them moving on and leaving you for somebody else, they die. You know, it's always something that can be worse than your current situation. So it makes you just realize that life is kind of like a cycle of suffering. There are good moments, there are bad moments, so you just have to take it for what it is because nothing is forever. Happiness, suffering, like I think it was Marcus Aurelius that said the quote, "This too shall pass." And honestly speaking, that goes to everything: the good, the bad, the ugly. It honestly doesn't matter what you're going through. This too shall pass. So if you think your life is terrible right now, just tell yourself, "This too shall pass." And it's kind of harder to take that advice though when you're going through a really good period of life because you have to realize that that amazing period of life too shall pass. You know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next set. It's funny when I got out in the car outside, I was telling myself I'm not feeling like yapping today, and I've been doing nothing but yapping. I find that kind of funny. Yeah, it fucking feels great. Wow. One more set, y'all. Then we'll call it there. Feeling solid. But I'm gonna give y'all a cut. I'll bring y'all back when I hit this next set. Alright, so I'm moving into the last set, and after this, I'm gonna do some pullovers, but I'm gonna do that off camera. Not really feeling it. Anyways, let's keep it going, y'all. Something strong though. If you could stay positive, even through bad moments in life, it makes the bad moments even better. It's better to be an optimist than it is to be a pessimist in life. You know? Oh shit. Shit. Fuck no. Alright, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all when we hit that post now. Alright, y'all. So that's all I got for today's video. But yeah, today was pretty solid, man. I enjoyed the workout. I enjoyed the work I got done. But enough yapping. Let's go ahead and get the pose down started. You know, something pretty interesting that well, actually, let's see, exposure. Let's make that go down a little bit. All right, y'all. But I thought I had good genetics when it comes to going to the gym, but then I watched the show Spartacus, bro, and there was a German in the show. That dude was fucking anabolic as fuck, and he's just an actor, so I'm not really sure if the guy is on like any kind of like performance enhancing shit. But it was just very interesting, y'all. But enough of the yapping, bro. Let's go ahead and get the pose now started. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna hold you. All right. Yeah, that's all I got, y'all. If y'all enjoyed today's video, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. And go ahead and turn on the notification bell if you want to see every single video I have coming out. That's all I got, y'all. Peace.